Alrighty, y'all, back to you in another video. Today we're going to be working on a 2007 Chevy Silverado 1500. We're going to be replacing the interior door handle. This one happened to snap off. I didn't know that was possible, but it happened. So we're going to be fixing that today. So we need to go ahead and get the door panel off so we can access the mount for the handle. And I'm going to show y'all a couple of things you will need to do this. Alrighty, so you are definitely going to need a pry tool, a little flathead. You can use like the small picks, but I prefer using this. Ratchet, extension, short 10mm, a drill bit, a drill, and obviously the new hardware. This is all off Amazon. I don't really have a name for it or anything like that, but that's the company. And this is off Amazon once again. So you get the interior piece that goes mounted on the inside of the door. You get a new door handle itself and some screws and some washers along with some glue. Now this kit, it's supposed to come with a plastic rivet drill bit, but for some reason I didn't get that. So in my case, I'm just going to go ahead and use this drill bit that I have right here to remove the plastic drill bit, or the plastic rivets, should I say, that hold this piece in. Alrighty. So we're going to start by removing the door panel, these little plastic inserts that hide the bolts. So you got that one right there by where the door handle itself goes. You got this one up here. And now everything here is 10mm. That's 10mm. These are 10mm. And the two bolts behind this are also 10mm. This is where your pry tool is going to come in handy to get behind this thing and pry this out. So once you take this out, again, you have a 10mm here and you have a 10mm here, and two 10 mils and this 10 mil. And then once you take that off, you're able to remove the door panel. Alrighty, now that we got all our bolts removed, we're going to go ahead and remove the lock mechanism. So just simply pry it out and it'll come right up. And then we're going to take our pry tool and we're going to come in behind this little corner piece on the door. Just pop it like so, and that comes off. And now we can pull our door panel off. The way I like to do it, I like to pry from this side and work my way around to the other side. So like I said, I usually start on this side. I'll pry behind this right here and just pull the panel up and then pull the panel out. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, before you do pull the panel itself off, you want to pry this off from here like so, and just go ahead and unhook the switches. Now that we got the panel out, we're going to go ahead and remove the harness that's attached to the door panel itself. So you simply want to push this down. It's just a clip, so you can remove it like so, just pushing that down and out of the way. And then your door panel should be loose by now, as you can see. And then you simply just lift it up. And then when you do lift it up, you're going to want to make sure you don't have nothing in these pockets, because everything that's in here is going to go flying. And then what you want to do is you want to turn it upside down, from the back towards the front, like so. And you're going to be able to see where the handle itself goes. And you're going to want to detach. So you're going to remove this whole thing itself. You're going to want to remove this whole thing from this. And it's just simply got two little clips on the inside. I'm going to go ahead and get in the right position and I will. So I don't know if you guys can see that or not. So it's got little tabs on each side, little wings on each side, and that's what holds it in. So you simply want to take either your pry tool or, like I said, I personally like to use my little screwdriver here, and you simply want to press that little wing in. And when you press that in, you're able to slide that out. So it's kind of hard to do it one-handed. So I'm going to do it, and then I will show y'all. Alrighty. So as you can see, I got it out. So you simply want to press one side in, and it'll like kind of cock it a little bit. And once it's cocked, you just press the other side in and you'll be able to slip it out. And then you simply pull it up like so. And then you simply remove this from the door handle itself. And your door handle's off, or your door panel's off, should I say. So this is the piece that we need to remove. So these rivets, these plastic rivets, is what you want to drill out. So you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then once you drill those out, then you will relocate your new piece in place using the new mounting hardware. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Like I said, I'm going to be using my drill bit. Most of these kits do come with a special bit for these plastic rivets. Either I lost it or it didn't come in mine. At this point, I'm not sure. I think I didn't have one. But again, I'm just going to use this oversized drill bit just to drill them out, because you don't want to go through. You simply just want to be able to get the rivets down enough to where this piece will come out. You don't necessarily want to drill through. So that's why I'm using an oversized drill bit in my case, just to simply waller it out enough to where this piece will come out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll cut that back on. So once the rivets are removed with your bit, this is what it's going to look like. So your piece will simply slide out like so. Well, it's got this little tab, but other than that tab, there should be nothing holding it, as you can see. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mount the new one, and then I'll cut that back on. Alrighty, so I ran into a little issue. My new piece, these holes, these pre-drilled holes that they come with, they were a little bit small, and they weren't lining up perfectly with my piece. So my piece was kind of like wobbly. It was unstable from these not being able to sit in place correctly. So I did take my step bit, or my unibit, however you want to call it, and I made these holes just slightly larger, just so my piece would sit a little bit more flush, just in case you run into the same issue of this piece not sitting, it's not sitting perfect, to be honest with you, but it is a lot better than it was. So I just want to let y'all know that I did face that issue and how I fixed it. Now, another recommendation that I do have for you guys is whenever you're dealing with plastics, especially very, I don't know what to call it, thin plastic, stuff like that. I always recommend use a screwdriver and do it by hand. Do not use a drill, because either you can go all the way through and penetrate through, or you're going to end up stripping it and you don't even know that you're stripping the screw. So at least when you hand tighten it, you're able to gauge when it's tight enough and you don't overdo it and end up, messing up the plastics. Now, another issue that I ran into is a couple of the little stubs from underneath. They're sticking up a little further than I want them to, so it doesn't allow the washer and the screw to sit flush. So I'm going to use an X-Acto blade or awful blade to just simply trim it and leave it flush. But I mean, you can also just use a regular razor blade. You don't need any special tools. So that is your end result. As you can see, once you have the piece inserted, mounted, obviously you want to add like a little dab of super glue. I know glue doesn't really stick to plastic, so it's kind of dumb, it's kind of pointless, but I mean, it will help create a little barrier around the screw and in the plastic, so it'll help keep it sturdy. So go ahead and do that. So that is your result, like I said, once you have the piece replaced. So now you're gonna follow all the previous steps and reverse order and put your door panel back on. And then the last step will be to add your new handle on. This simply slides in. It's got a little lock mechanism in there and a little latch. So once you slide this on, it doesn't come back off. So definitely want to wait to do that last. So now we're gonna reinstall the door panel. I'll catch that back on when I'm done. Sorry about that. My phone cut off. It got a bit hot. But we got the door panel back on. We got all the trim pieces, all the accessories, all the bolts, everything's back in. So your last step is to simply slide your new handle over that nub. This is the old one, so I'm just gonna use this for reference. Obviously, as you can tell, it's got like a little metal nub that sticks up in there. And that's this piece right here. So that's what's going to lock on to the new um, door handle mechanism. So you simply got to push this on and just it'll click in place, and that's what holds it. Um, it is a little bit of a battle. I'm not going to lie to you. I do have to use a little bit of force, I felt like. So just be careful not to push too hard, because obviously, you just screw that um, piece onto the back of the panel. So if you press too hard, you might be able to, press hard enough to where, you push it out and you break all the screws and all that. So, kind of be gentle, but yeah, you got to be a little bit rough at the same time. Just cautious, I guess, for the most part. And like I said, simply, slide the handle on. You're going to pick this up a little bit. That's what I had to do. And just jam it on in there, and she's good to go. So we'll give her a little test run just to make sure we can get out, right? What's the point of saying, oh, should probably unlock it. Well, there she is. New door handle. Alrighty, y'all. Hopefully y'all liked this video. Hopefully it was helpful. Like I said, obviously just follow all the steps in reverse of how I took everything apart on how to put everything back together. Watch the video as many times as you need, to, figure out how to do it. And if you have any questions, any concerns, leave them in the comments, and I will definitely try to get back to you. Alrighty, y'all. God bless. Have a great day.